This is Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Gargano, and you are listening to the Bob Culture Podcast.
Our picks for WWE's Saturday night's main event and NXT Battleground. It's Memorial Day weekend, and it's also a big wrestling weekend. I think we have Double or Nothing coming up for AEW as well. So there's so much going on. But here tonight, we're going to make our predictions for WWE's Saturday night's main event, which looks like a lot of fun, and NXT Battleground, which I'm actually very, very excited for. As of late, NXT might be my favorite show. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Guys, real quick, share the stream. Let us know in the comments who you got as we go through all these matches. But first, please welcome back an A-plus player here on BCP Plus. You know him as the head honcho of DFPN, the No Gimmicks podcast. The list goes on and on. Our good friend, the wise man of the BCP, apparently, Mr. Kelvin Cayley. Kelvin, good to see you, sir. How are you, my friend?
I'm good, man. How are you guys? Thank you for having me back on. It's a pleasure to be back, man.
Yeah, dude, I'm ready to go. I just wanted to bounce some things off you, Kelvin. You've been doing such a great job here. I have so many theories, especially when it comes to NXT Battleground. But let's get right into Saturday night's main event. Now, no women's matches on this card, but I'm going to throw this one up first. Let's start just because they started building with this one. And I think this is a little bit of a layup here. Of course, we have the Yeet Master and the current reigning and defending World Heavyweight Champion, Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso, taking on Logan Paul. What do you think about this matchup here? Do you think Logan Paul has a chance here, Kelvin? What do you got?
There's enough distraction going around for Jey Uso that it could be pretty interesting, a pretty interesting outcome. He's been preoccupied kind of with Paul Heyman and his group. So I do think there's a distraction there, but also Logan Paul using that to capitalize. It's been really interesting to see. But Saturday night main event, Logan Paul, Jey Uso just got this title. I don't see him losing it to someone like Jake Paul, although I do think this will be a very, very high quality matchup. I really do think this is going to be a great match, but Jay gets the win here.
Yeah, I think SNME is a great place for this particular match. I had some opinions about the whole Gunther thing, and Gunther kind of came in and was like, hey, when you lose essentially Logan Paul, because I take this very personally, I'm going for Jay, which I thought was very interesting. I was kind of proposing on my Backlash review that maybe it should have been Logan Paul taking on Pat McAfee, because there's a lot of similarities there in terms of, coming from the outside in. You have kind of like the talk show persona, the social media presence. So I thought that was maybe the right fit. I was very, as you know, Kelvin, very picky about that whole Gunther thing of it all.
Me too.
Yeah. And I appreciate you getting my back on that. But I think right here, it's a no-brainer. I think Jay takes this one. Logan Paul will probably go for some sort of brass knucks or something crazy, but I think Jay's going to be one step ahead. And this is just a straight and narrow down the middle. No craziness. No debuts or I don't think Logan Paul's aligned himself with anyone or anything like that. I could see him being the kind of guy to have a heavy or something like that, but that's down the road. I think this is just straight down the middle. Jey Uso retains here. Let's take it to this one. And let me know how you feel about this, Kelvin. Drew and, of course, Damian Priest, Monster Factory guy, they cannot get out of each other's way. They cannot. This has just got to be the final one, the blow-off match between these two. They took each other out of the U.S. title match at Backlash on the table. This one was hard for me to kind of get behind story-wise, but they always bring it in the ring, hard-hitting action. What do you think about this one? Who is it important who wins here? Who do you think wins this one? What do you got on this match?
I don't think it's really important who wins, right? Because both guys are, and I don't like this for either of them, because both of them were champions at one point, and you see them facing each other, and it's kind of like the loser slides a little bit, which I don't want that for either guy.
True.
Both guys have enough to bring to the table. I wasn't really too much of a fan of how they handled Damian Priest, specifically once he got out of the Judgment Day. He had the title. You could have thrown more stuff his way. Let him build his reign a little bit. I get it. You wanted Gunther to be the man, but Damian Priest as a champion was doing some decent work, and he could have built himself a really nice legacy if he'd had a longer reign. But again, it was Gunther, so you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong there. But he's in a situation to where if he loses this match, I get scared of where he's gonna be at afterwards. I'm rooting for him to win, but something tells me that Drew McIntyre is taking this match because feuds like this, Drew hasn't really come out of on the other side, like in a feud like that. So I think this might be the one where he gets over. He gets over and gets the win here. But I don't like this for Damian Priest. I really don't.
Yeah, and you convinced me, Calvin, because this is a hard one to choose. Like you came out the gate saying, is it going to be Damian Priest or Drew? Like, can either of them afford to lose here? Great point on Damian Priest of it all, though, because he, coming out of the World Heavyweight Championship run, coming out of the Judgment Day, I did like that. What was it, Terror Twins with Rhea Ripley? I like that. I thought that had a lot of steam. But then after that, right, it was like put him with Drew, and it's been great. It's been really good. It's a good call. I just need a little bit more substance. I think I'm getting greedy with all these really great storylines he's had as of late. So I could see. Because it would kill Drew if he lost. And like you said, if Damian loses, like, what do we do with him?
Right.
I'm going to copy and paste, Calvin. I'm going to say Drew wins here just because of what really hit home for me is what you said is Drew hasn't really been rewarded in a lot of these payoffs so much. And that plays into his character, too, of like the unjustness and the social media posts and everything being unfair. So that's what I got on that one. Good stuff, Kelvin. Let's go to the chat real quick, guys, and share the stream. Let us know who you got. We're talking Saturday night's main event, and we'll also go into NXT Battleground. I'm super excited for that one. Gina, I'm not surprised here. Gina says, I have Damian Priest to win, but he has to watch out for that Claymore kick. Yeah, and he might get taken out by that Claymore kick, Gina. I will, if Damian Priest wins on Saturday night, I will be clapping and stand up clapping. I'll be very happy for you, Gina. I hope Damian Priest wins for you. Hey, cuties. Hey, Tim in the chat. What's up? This is a very handsome podcast, as you know. Bill in the chat, going back to the Logan Paul and Jey Uso of it all, saying, I can see them doing the pivot to Jake Paul on Saturday night's main event. I'll respectfully disagree, Sensei. What do you think about that, Kevin? There's no way, right?
That's interesting. That's very interesting. I don't, on a main event, on the Saturday night main event.
Interesting.
The title changing hands. Oh, that would be crazy.
That would be nuts.
It might bring some eyes to Saturday night main event. He
said Logan. Yeah, Logan Paul, not Jake Paul. Yeah, that's right. And I just
got it.
Dude, you can see where my head's at. Hey man, my weekend starts now. So but yeah, interesting, Bill. And again, you can make that argument like just like with the US championship, like he can kind of bring it outside the realm of pro wrestling and the niche that is pro wrestling and bring it into his world and the social media world and all his marketing stuff. But I think he did that with the US championship. I don't see that happening here. I'm also scared to see him being a world champion. I respectfully don't want to see that. So please not this Saturday, but never say never. Like we've been saying, Kelvin, expect the unexpected. And let's talk about this one. I'm going to let you take this away, Kelvin, because I'm starting to get theories, and you always are very good at these deep theories here. We have this new group. I guess we're calling them Evolution 2.0. I don't know if they have an official name yet, with Seth, Paul Heyman, and Braun Breaker taking on the team of CM Punk and Sammy. What do you got on this match here, Kelvin?
This match scares me, honestly. And it's because of the theory that I have. I do think we're in the running for something crazy happening because we're due. We're just due. And I think if there's a probability of shenanigans, a high probability of shenanigans, the fact that you have Punk and Sami Zayn, who have openly had problems going up against Seth, who's openly had problems with CM Punk, and Braun, he's the next man in line. If you look at what they're doing with him, I love it. But it seems to me that Sami Zayn has a legitimate reason to turn his back on his partner. It really does. And I'm gonna go back to the weeks and weeks and weeks that we've been running the story, right? CM Punk always comes out at like the last minute.
He does.
And like Sammy's in there, and then all of a sudden here comes CM Punk, right? And the crowd goes crazy. The crowd loves CM Punk. I could see that irritate Sami Zayn. And he just snaps. Now, I thought he was going to turn on Jay, because that would have been way more hurtful. But him turning on CM Punk makes way more sense.
Yeah. So I'll ask you this, Kelvin, because again, it's one of those things where I want to argue with you, but like even before you said it, I felt it. Like, is this the place? Like, Sammy, best boo-boo face in the business, arguably one of the most endearing characters. I always say the low-key MVP of the long-term storytelling, what he did with the Bloodline. I can go on and on.
Yep. I
don't want to see, like, do you mean he's going to turn heel, or he's just going to turn on Punk and kind of just have a problem with Punk? Does that make him a heel if he turns on Punk? Is this just an overall turn for Sami Zayn?
I think it's an overall turn. Now, interesting question you just posed. Does he turn heel? One thing people forget about Sammy is he's a phenomenal heel. He really is a great heel. If he goes that route, I wouldn't mind it, honestly. If he gets rid of the play, because you do have a lot of sympathy for Sammy. What if he doesn't need it anymore? So that's an interesting aspect too.
I'm scared. I'm scared because, again, like I always say with you, everything you're saying makes sense. I felt it before you even said it. The way Seth kind of was like, "Oh, join us," and he's like, "No," and then it's like, "Join us," no, and then it's going to be like, "Is he going to join?" Like, he's literally fighting them in a match. Is he going to like join them because they're his opponents, or is he just going to turn on Punk after the match? That's probably what's going to happen after the match if it happens. I'm going to say this now. And you're right. He is a great heel. He's been a great heel, but he is captured something that's so hard to capture, being that baby face that everyone's behind and is endearing. I've said it how many times on the show. He is a future world heavyweight champion.
Yes.
He deserves that championship. Best boo-boo face in the business. I can go on and on. He does need to fight Jay. I hate to admit it. He needs to fight Jay. I wish it was like Jay won the championship and came out and was like, "Hey, you know what? You rode with me. We were this together." They do the handshake, and I want you to have the first title shot. And Sammy didn't have to win, but like, I want you to have that title shot. Man, I could even see Sammy Jay at SummerSlam.
If they get in a situation where it's Sammy versus Jay, Sammy cannot be likable.
Yeah, you're right. Man, who do you have to win this match? I'm guessing you have Seth's group to win, and then Sammy turns, kind of a thing.
Yep. Well, I don't know. I don't know if he actually turns. Yes, I think Seth and Braun are going to win this anyway.
Yeah,
but the turn aspect is really high.
Braun's going to look really strong.
Oh, absolutely.
And Seth is arguably one of the best wrestlers on Raw right now. Sammy turns, bruv, just like a Band-Aid. Jeffrey Yeet found like a Band-Aid. Just come on, Rob, get out of your field. I don't want to see it, man. He's so good, man. And I have my whole rant last time. They're turning everyone heel. It's getting a little choppy after WrestleMania, but I feel it. I feel like everything Kelvin's saying is true. And Jeffrey T. Fountain in the chat saying heel Sammy is the best Sammy. No, don't do it. Don't do it. But I do think him and Punk lose. Oh man, it does kind of like all the dots connect, man. And Bill in the chat, this is where
I agree with this actually.
Yeah, go ahead, Kelvin. Yeah,
I agree with that. Everybody can't be a heel.
Yeah,
it just don't work. But you can't. Two faces facing each other really don't make that much sense either.
Yeah, I've always been that guy, like, and I get it. It's the good versus the evil. That's storytelling 101. That's wrestling 101. Dark versus the light. The Star Wars comparisons. We've heard them all. Yep. I don't mind. I love it when like Rey Mysterio versus Jeff Hardy. Ooh, usually it's like a tournament or something like that. I don't mind. I don't mind that every once in a while. AEW's actually, I'll give them flowers on that one. Like they're good at when the tournaments, they usually put the faces to get Darby versus
That's
Jeff,
when it works. Yes.
That's when it works. So I don't mind it. Like the scenario I proposed where Jay was like, hey, Sammy, like you rode with me. Like we did this together. Like you get the first shot and it's a straight up match. Whatever happens after that match. Okay. But I don't mind that. Like, I don't think it always, like I would say 9 times out of 10 times, yes, it should be face versus heel. And I get that. And I'm respectful of that. I think the business has evolved a little bit. I'm not a wrestler. So I want to be respectful of that too. I think you can do it. I'm also very scared that Sammy's going to turn heel. But Bill, you bring up a great point. I'm not worried about it yet. I've just kind of been monitoring it like since they started turning everyone heel, even in NXT, or people are like kind of heels. Like we're going to talk about Trick later. Like he's a heel, but like everyone, like his entrance is great. The people are singing along with the average Joe rap. Like I love Trick. And it's not even like I love to hate him. I just love Trick.
Right.
We'll get into that later. Real quick, Bill, I'm just monitoring the situation. I'm not saying everyone can't be heel yet, but it's getting there. I'm cautiously optimistic. We'll see what happens, Bill. And Sammy versus Jay's baby faces could work though because they can both get chippy and aggressive. Yeah, I like that. I agree.
I agree with that.
I was gonna say, is that it? This is the match I'm very excited for. We got to talk about finally. And I like that they used the press conference to set this up. Of course, the end of the match at Backlash. I think I got to give Billy and Wolf her flowers for coming up with the R-Truth of it all. When we were talking about Backlash, she brought it up. Maybe R-Truth would get involved. And he really was the determining factor. Truth
really was.
Versus Cena, man. Oh, man, Kelvin, just let Truth get his stuff in. I want to feel like Truth is going to win is this a champion? Is this a title match? Is it a title match? I don't know if it's a title match.
I think it's non-title.
I think it's non-title. Guys, let me know in the chat. But and I can understand why, because he didn't do anything to earn a title shot. But I'm so glad this is one of Cena's last matches. I'm so glad it's Truth. Give me a little bit of comedy, but make me feel like let Truth show out. Give this time. Don't do like the quick thing. Like Truth is great in the ring, but give him time. Let him do all his stuff. Make me feel like Truth has a chance to beat Cena here. Maybe I'm off base. I think Cena obviously will retain here. No disrespect, but make me feel like Truth is going to win here. What do you got on this, Calvin?
I like where Truth is right now. Okay. He's getting a little more serious about it. And funny enough, it's like it's funny because it's like that's his childhood hero, but he's older than Cena. You know what I mean? But it makes him serious. And I find myself in this place of I want Truth to win this match. And if he wins, he gets a title opportunity out of it. I like Truth winning this match.
Now, do you have Truth winning this? Do you have
I'm going to be bold here and say Truth wins this match.
Straight up, interference, some sort of silly, funny business, count out, something.
I don't think you can do this one. You can't do the same old. But Cena said if he's really out to ruin wrestling, then there will be shenanigans involved. I would like to see a straight up win here by Truth because it would mean a lot for Truth. And then it'll set something. You just don't have him in a match with John Cena. Although the reason that he's in this match makes sense. It's not just one of Cena's last matches. It can actually lead to something meaningful for Truth and bring him on a more serious path. I like funny Truth, but I like aggressive, I don't care Truth. I like that one way more because he's way more vicious. He's way more serious. There is no playing around. He just comes after you. I want that guy. And it looks like he's heading in that direction. So I'm going to be bold today. I'm going to say R-Truth wins this match. Shenanigans involved.
Because the title is not on the line. And I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, I believe it doesn't say it's a title match. So I believe the title is not on the line, and nor should it be at this point.
Right.
Love what they did at the press conference. That being said, Calvin, I like where you're going with this. I like that because it set up another match. I know Cena's got 24-ish dates left. Let's say half of them, let's say 10 of them are matches.
Yep.
Not including this one. So there's a handful of opponents. Do I see him running it back again with Truth for the title? Possibly, actually. I do. I think here, I think we're going to get that moment where we're just like, is Truth going to win this? Like Truth has the upper hand here, or like maybe Truth does some funny business. You think he's going to win by count out or something sneaky, or you know what? The more I think about it, I think this is going to be a match where like Truth is going to be kind of conflicted with like pinning him and hitting him at first, and then maybe it'll kind of elevate. So it's like, okay. And like you said, the more serious Truth, the more I talk about this, I'm like getting more hyped for it. I like what you brought to the table here, Kelvin. But I think he's going to get that momentum. We think Truth's going to win and pin him, and like, oh, Truth's going to do this, and like, I think that crowd's going to get hot. Like, Truth,
crazy.
Like, it'd be great. What's up? Whatever. It's going to be great. And then Cena, bam, stops his momentum. Maybe something dastardly. Maybe because he's ruining wrestling. There seems to have been a low blow or a title belt shot in every match. Wouldn't surprise. This is going to make us hate Cena more. So I think Cena's going to win here and break everyone's heart, including our Truths. Let's go to the chat, man. I like what you do. Like what you're saying, though, Kelvin. Man, you always like, dude. You made me watch the whole pay-per-view with Dom last time. Completely. I'm like, Kelvin's right. Like they're not touching this guy, and why did Finn hesitate? And you got in my head. A lot of this in the chat. I think Cody Rhodes returns and costs him the match. Someone else said that too. I think Cody Rhodes returns and costs Cena. Is this the place, Kelvin, to bring Cody Rhodes back?
We haven't seen Cody since Mania, so maybe. If you want this to be a big event, yes.
Yeah, interesting. And I've been like these Saturday night main events. I'm actually very excited for it. Yeah. JVD Front Row Mafia. He figured it out, Kelvin. Truth gonna win. He earned this moment. Interference by little Jimmy. Why didn't we think of this, Calvin? Brilliant. JVD, the man. So good to hear from you. All right. Great stuff, Calvin. That's why you're here, man. You just like, you're throwing these curveballs at me. My head's spinning. Let's talk about it, guys. And again, that was Saturday night's main event. I do want to talk about, and I'm very excited for NXT Battleground. I believe that's going to be Sunday in Tampa. Man, I am so hyped for this. NXT, like I was saying to you, Kelvin, earlier, maybe my favorite wrestling show right now. I'm really enjoying the stories. I'm enjoying the women's division's been great. The tag division's been great. The crossover with TNA for me, it's awesome. And the thing I always used to love about the black and gold is like, nowadays they kind of announce every match for every show. Like, oh, it's gonna be this match, this match. I liked like when you didn't know who was like, Orny Loken, or like guys would just kind of pop up. I'm like, oh, I remember him, or like you could see who the up and comers were. Like you never really knew what you were gonna get, and that's something I like. NXT has a little bit of that. Which I like too now. But let's start. Where do we go? There's so much to talk about. Let's
There's a lot for this one.
Let's get a little appetizer here. We'll start with this one, Calvin. This is Hank and Tank, and was it the Coling?
Yep.
In a 6-man match. With Josh Briggs, of course, as well with Hank and Tank, the new NXT champions. I was almost devastated that they beat Fraxium, our 2024 tag team of the year, Kelvin. But it was a heck of a match. It might have been my favorite match from WrestleMania weekend in the WWE realm. 6-man match. Do you keep the tag champs hot here because this isn't a tag title match, or do you need that win for Shawn Spears' group here?
I think you keep the champs hot. They need that momentum. They just got the belts from Fraxium. You get them to establish, and you have them in a ring with a vet like Shawn Spears. That is an excellent opportunity for them to showcase what they do. He can handle it. I think the win here goes to them.
Yeah,
I love Hank and Tank though.
Yeah. Let's go to the chat. And Tim, stay with us if you can, man. Don't go anywhere. Tim in the chat saying it's going to be a Sunday on Peacock from Tampa, probably like 7 or 8 or so. And in the chat, just addressing what Kelvin just mentioned, Tim Rosen saying, I can't stand Hank and Tank. So good. They're fun, man. They're fun.
They are fun.
And they do some stuff that I haven't seen. I didn't want them to be Fraxium, and I'm still kind of new to them, but they're fun. I like them. They kind of remind me of like Heavy Machinery meets,
Yeah,
I don't know, something.
I said it was heavy. I would say it reminded me of Heavy Machinery meets the Dudleys.
That's it, dude. You, Calvin, this is why you hit it, man. Oh, right there, you're the perfect ingredient. That's it. That's it. It's forever going to be that. And then real quick, I lost it here. Tim, one more time. You coming to Slammiversary TNA in July, UBS Arena, Long Island. I will be there. Yeah. So our plan is BCP Plus will be all over it. I'm hoping to do some more media. We did do some media for it already. We want to be covering the event. We're going to be photographing the event. Hopefully, our guys Nick Richardson will be there. Hopefully to do some more media and interviews. We did talk to Joe Henry. Tim, if you can do me a favor, go on YouTube, go to BCP Plus. You'll find our interview with Joe Henry. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, our sit-down interview with my good buddy Casey Navarro, who's been absolutely crushing it. And check him out in about 10 minutes or so, after you're done watching this, of course, on TNA Plus. So you can see him in action with, I almost said Top Dollar, with AJ Francis. There's so much wrestling, guys. AJ Francis, because they are first class. But we plan to be all over TNA Slammiversary here in the tri-state area. Vince the Voice here. What's good, Vince the Voice, man? Vince, I don't know. He does the announcements over at Home Depot, and he always incorporates some great sports trivia and WWE announcements. So maybe we can get a Saturday night's main event one if you haven't done one already, Vince. Or how about an NXT Battleground? I don't know if you're an NXT guy, Vince. Let's see what you can come up with us. And shout out to Vince over at Home Depot. Follow Vince the Voice on social media. Oh, and Tim, thank you so much. You said you watched that and the KC one. Thank you, Tim, for support, man. We appreciate that. Leave us a review. And I'll tell you, I'm not going to leave us a 5-star review like everyone else. If I deserve 3.5 stars, you give me 3.5 stars. It's not going to help the ratings, but oh no, I'm afraid to watch. Ellie in the chat. Do you blow dry your luscious hair? I don't, man. It's a lot grayer than it used to be. I'll tell you that. Ever since I started dating Vicky, it just
oh no,
yeah.
That's gonna hurt the negotiations, man. Take that back.
That's not a good strategy. Oh man, I'm gonna go with Sean Spears' group to win this one, though.
Okay,
I think the other guys can take the L. There are 6 matches, not 5. Typically, it's 5. Maybe this is a pre-show, maybe not. I'll go with Sean Spears' group to win this one. No other reasoning other than they could use a win, and also Hank. It's not going to hurt them because it's not a tag match. So they're going to be winning a lot of matches as tag team champions. So I'll go that way. Let's talk about this one. This should be good, Calvin. Possible show stealer here. Kalani Jordan, Saul, Ruka, in the words of Trick Williams. Let's talk about it, man. What do you got?
Man, listen, I love this match. I love where Sol Ruka is as the champion. I think she's been a great champion so far, but I also loved Kalani Jordan as the champion. And I like that she's getting a shot back at this title. You know what? For all my marbles, I really want Kalani Jordan to win this match, but I'm going to give this one to Sol. Sol, what she's doing right now is making a real big case for one of the best wrestlers of the year right now. Really, really and truthfully. And I kind of want her to lose because I kind of want her in the title picture, but, we have that big title match going up. But I like this match. I think this does have potential to be the show stealer. I'm kind of I want to see what Kalani does in this match, because I think she's ready for the main roster. I think so. So I want to see what she does in this match. I know it's going to be a good match, but after this match, I think I want to see her on the main roster. I just need to see this match to confirm it. But great match.
I struggle so much with the women's matches here because of what you said, Kelvin. The women's roster in NXT, I know they've been
phenomenal.
We're the best. I think they are the best women's roster.
Yep.
That's just my opinion.
Phenomenal.
And where I struggle, and you'll see with some of my picks later, a lot of my picks I've been making is they're going to lose because they're going up. Also, there might be a draft. It's not official yet.
Right.
There's been some chatter of a draft. It depends how you want to call them up. Roxy Julia went up pretty fast, all things considered. I thought some other people might go up before her. Some people, JC Jane's been there, 6 years in NXT. So some of them have been there for a long time. And I understand it's a matter of being ready in the right time, in the right place. But there's been a lot of call-ups as of late. I think there will be more call-ups after this PLE. I think it's going to be a great PLE. And this is a possible banger alert. Kalani Jordan, Sol Ruka. Expect some crazy soul snatcher. It's going to come out of nowhere because Kalani can get the height. She can control her body in the air. Great interview with Sol Ruka over on Busted Open After Dark with Uncle Bully. She really went into her background, got a little bit emotional. I love that stuff when you can kind of learn where they came from. As someone who dates a women's wrestler, it's I don't want to say cool, but it's interesting to hear like their people's struggles and where they came from and what they did to make it. And I think Sol is just leveling up before our eyes. But you said Kalani Jordan is ready. Like she's ready. She's got that athletic background. It's hard to choose. Also, we have the Zarya. I almost said Delta aspect of it all.
I keep wanting to call her that too.
I know. She keeps looking at the title every time, Sol holds up. She's like looking at the title. She's just there. I said when they brought her in, she seemed like this vicious force. She's in the audience. She just appears. Her entrance is crazy. And she's kind of doing this silly stuff with Sol Ruka. So I'm waiting for her to unleash. And I think we all are. So it's like painfully obvious. So they're stretching it out. Is it here? Is it after Sol Ruka wins? Because I do pick Sol Ruka to win here. But does she get attacked after the match? When she's, because this match is going to be a banger. I think it's going to take a lot out of her. Let's go to the chat real quick, guys. You guys are doing awesome. Please share the stream and go over on BCP Plus on YouTube and subscribe. All right. Yes. So Billy Ann, we were just giving you your props earlier about bringing the R-Truth on our last panel. You called that one. We'll give you your flowers on that one. Saying so both of them to be on the main roster ASAP. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Billy, will definitely have you back on to show you a hell of a debut. In the chat real quick, Vince the Voice saying he has 5 Saturday Night's main event videos over at Home Depot on the announcement speaker. We're going to do an NXT Battleground idea. I love it. Their first match was a banger. Did they? I'm trying to remember. Was a Sol and Kalani. I bet it was. I bet it was a banger. There's so much wrestling. And then he's also saying, Tim saying, I think Z turns on Sol. Yeah, perhaps after the match, because I don't want this to interrupt this awesome match. I hate it when you have like these match of the years, and then there's funny business at the end. I'm like, I can't count it. Like,
please don't. Please let these ladies go.
Let the bell ring. Let the bell ring at the end. I love it. All right, and why? Thank you, John. I wouldn't go that far. We're not gentlemen, but we try our best. All right, let's keep it going. Man. I'm very excited for that match. You know what? We talked about him already. We said his name, and look, he just appeared. I'm so sorry. I just did that whole bit, but you know it. Trick Williams taking on the TNA World Champion in Mr. Joe Henry. Again, guys, check out our interview with Mr. Joe Henry over on BCP Plus, the YouTube, or bcp-plus.com. Kelvin, first, before we pick a winner of this one, what did you think about the musical performances between Trick Williams doing the rap out the ring? I love that he didn't just stand in the ring and do it. He came out to the whole entrance. I thought that was brilliant. And then Joe doing his acoustic bit in the ring. What did you think about all that?
I thought it was phenomenal. I love both performances. The only thing I would say is, Trick, remember, you're the bad guy here. Don't give people the mic. Don't give them the mic and have them sing along. Sing along with Trick should be canceled, bro. Like, get your bars out, which, by the way, good bars. I like you took the time, you prepped, you set it up. The song was great. You went into it, but no crowd participation, guy. You're the bad guy. Let him fill the bars, destroy him lyrically, and then walk to the back. But Joe is always entertaining, man. He's always going to be entertaining. And I think my favorite thing Joe's ever done is the can you please get fired?
AJ Francis. That was the best one. Oh my
goodness. Like he's always going to be entertaining. And I like that. I like that he's always got a counter. And it's an entertaining part of this match. And I'm excited for this match. I really am. I really am excited.
Yeah,
for this
man.
Match.
I'm stoked for it. Real quick before we pick our winners, one of the questions I asked Joe, because I wanted to ask him a music question, right? Because a lot of times you interview these guys and gals and it's wrestling. I always try to get like one or two, like tell me about your dog, or like something they want to talk about. A lot of people like talk about their dogs. I sure do. But I digress. So I wanted to ask him a music question, and I was like, when you write, I'm a drummer. Do you come up with the beat first? Do you come up with a riff? You come up with the melodies? You write lyrics first? And he said he comes up with the hook. That's the first thing he comes up with, the hook of the song, the catchy part.
That's the most important part. Really.
That's it, man. And it shows. Even as I was thinking about that when he was playing, and then him bringing up the old stuff with Trick and Mello, and then we obviously knew what the hook was, and I won't repeat it, the hook in that song. But it was great how Trick came out. I love that he rapped to the crowd. It's weird. I like Trick as I think he's interchangeable. He's one of those few that is interchangeable. I think he's as good as a face as he is a heel. Maybe he's too much of a cookie cutter baby face. That entrance. Oh, also, don't want to forget this. I got way too hyped about it. Booker being the hype man during the rap, it added so much.
Yes, it did. I normally don't like Booker's commentary, but that was absolutely it was hilarious, bro. Like I was like, I love it.
You know what? I didn't love Booker on commentary. At first, it just wasn't for me, but like it's really grown on me.
Really?
And I think it really has, like, it's one of those things, Kelvin. Like if he gets another role as like a coach or something else and he's not there, I think I would miss him in NXT, like in that particular role. But he added so much to, obviously his entrance, but that rap, Booker added so much. So I love that, made me smile. I did it. And I get what you're saying, man. If he's a heel, he shouldn't be giving the mic to the crowd. Yep. He shouldn't be like pandering to the crowd, but like, I don't hate it, man. For me, I just, again, like I kind of said this earlier, I get like babyface and heel, and that's how it should be. Like you're one or the other, and you lean into it. For me, I feel like nowadays maybe there's more of a spectrum. Like maybe with certain people, like I always like guys like tweener. We don't really use that word a lot. Not to say that Trick is a tweener, but I always like the guys that were in the Dean Ambrose. That's a really bad first example, but the Canes, the Stone Colds, Dean Ambrose. I don't know why I led with Dean Ambrose. No disrespect. But like these guys who were just kind of played by their own rules, right? But the crowd loved them. They weren't, by the book. They weren't the nicest guys, man. But it was those people that were in between. No matter what they did, they would get cheered. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Trick
is one of those guys.
I think so. Trick is interchangeable. I love Trick. His entrance just garners babyface reaction. So the rap was great. I didn't mind because the crowd was into it because it was good. Yeah. The crowd was into it. So I don't mind Trick giving the crowd the microphone. But you're right. Like by the education and book and respect of pro wrestling, like he shouldn't have given the mic to the crowd. Right. But I like it. If you're gonna do that, like throw it in his face about it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, even they don't like you. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And during their confrontation at the end, I don't want to go too much into this, but there were Trick chants and Joe chants. I think they were saying the refrains of their respective songs, which is great. Yeah. I'm very excited for this.
Most definitely.
Before I ask you who wins here, and Tim in the chat saying, I guess you're talking about Soul and Kalani. They fought at NXT Heatwave. Okay.
Yep.
Jeffrey in the chat saying, Trick to the main roster. I could agree with that. I'll get in that in a minute. And then before we get to you, Kelvin, Tim in the chat saying Trick will win the TNA title. I don't know, man. Can we do that, Kelvin? Is there a chance? Could we do that to Joe Henry? Is there a chance that an NXT guy wins the TNA world title? There's no way, right? There's no way.
I mean, anything can happen. Will it happen? No.
You scared me for a minute.
No, I don't think he's gonna beat Joe. Although him beating Joe would be monumental, but Joe's been the guy, and I gotta give him his flowers, man. Joe's been the guy that has elevated TNA on every single level. You don't take it away from him. When he's doing stuff like that, he's brought that title to the main stage of WrestleMania, on the biggest stage it could possibly be. He's been the guy carrying that title. He's been the guy putting that title in the public eye. He's been that guy making sure TNA is seen, and he's been a great ambassador for TNA. Guys like that, you want representing your brand. And it's nothing against Trick, and it's nothing against NXT as a brand. I'm just saying Joe Henry, for what he has been doing for TNA, is TNA. He is the guy to represent that brand. He is the best ambassador for that brand right now. And when you see him right now, Joe Henry is synonymous with TNA. So that is the identity. I don't think they're going to diminish that in any type of way, because him being around, and as long as he is in a stage or on a stage like NXT and he's maintaining these eyes, he's going to be the guy carrying the championship.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Very well said. No, I agree with you. Real quick, I do want to mention Kelvin also was on TNA Press Pass. We talk about Joe doing all that media, going the extra mile. He's barely been home. He's barely been home to Scotland, just traveling place to place. Okay, I have media here. I'll go here. Oh, I have an NXT appearance. Hey, I'll go here. I might have to move to the States. And in an interview, I think it was with CVV, he said, hey, man, all I want to do, like, to get some rest and respite is just go walk my dog in Scotland, man. Like, what's better than that, man? So I love those interviews where you can endear yourself. And again, check out our interview with Joe and Kelvin asking Joe some questions over on TNA Press Pass. That is on YouTube as well. Tim in the chat saying Joe was left standing on the Go Home show. Solid argument. I get what you're saying, right? He was left standing, so he's going to lose. You know, that old school mentality, guys. I don't think things are the way they were. I think expect the unexpected. We have a new regime. Yeah. I think the business has evolved. And I get what you're saying, Tim. I get where you're coming from. It's kind of like he's left standing, he's going to lose. I agree with Kelvin. I don't see the TNA championship because of all the hard work that Joe has been doing, changing hands here. It would be interesting. It would make things fun. I wouldn't hate it, but I'd hate it for Joe. I might hate it for TNA. They've been doing so much great stuff. We have Slammiversary again coming up. UBS Arena. You think Trick maybe would be there? I don't think as the champion. Also, Kelvin, I'll bring this up to you before we move on. We have Saturday night's main event in Tampa as well. Is this where, because I really want to see it happen, and maybe this is fantasy booking, I apologize. Do we see an interaction maybe at Saturday night's main event? Maybe Joe Henry sitting ringside watching the John Cena match. Is that how we introduce the two? They're in the same place, and they've been in the same place before. Do we see John? I don't see John Cena appearing in NXT. Maybe. Do we see any sort of crossover here? Am I reaching a little bit? I'm reaching, aren't I?
No, you're not reaching at all. You're not. Okay. You're not reaching at all. And that is that. I didn't think of that. I didn't even think of that. So that is a very high possibility. We could see them actually square off.
I think. So you have 24 dates, right? Basically, and then I'll move to the next match. I apologize. I'm rambling on as always. Rambling Rob, like rambling rabbit. We know that John Cena has 24 dates. We know that Joe Henry wants that match with John Cena. He talked to him on the phone for a few minutes. His friend was at a meet and greet. He inspired Joe Henry. Joe Henry reminds me of John Cena in a lot of ways. That's the dream match. We know this. Cena had said to Henry backstage, I think it was at the Rumble or before that, correct me if I'm wrong, fortune favors the bold. And since that, every single interview he's mentioned Cena. Every chance he's got, he talked to Cena backstage at WrestleMania, and Cena said, you're doing what you need to do. I think if he's doing fortune favors the bold, maybe he sits ringside at Saturday night main event. How do we make these two? Was Cena having till December 20-something dates? I'll say maybe 10 matches, if half of them, or less than half of them are matches. We already got the Randy one out of the way. I think there'll be a Punk one, maybe another Cody, possibly another R-Truth. We talked about it. Joe's got to be one. Maybe at TNA, maybe at a WWE thing. I think it's money. I don't think it's because Joe's a TNA guy, like it's not, worthy or whatever. Joe's earned it. They love Joe. They're going. Yep. Let's cut through it, Kevin. They're going to sign Joe Henry whenever the time comes. They're going to sign definitely. If they could, they would right now. And but like you said, he is representing TNA. He's being an ambassador. He is doing his job as a heavyweight champion, which is why I don't think he will lose that title here. He could. And Tim, you can be the first one to tell me I'm wrong when it happens, man. I always admit when I'm wrong, especially when I'm fighting with my girlfriend. So I kid. But I'll be the first one to admit I'm wrong on that one. And I think Joe has done TNA proud. I don't see him losing the title here, but I could see how it could make waves, and I could see how people would get excited about that. perhaps there's a John Cena beginning of a thread here with John Cena. I'll leave it at that. All right, Kelvin. Sorry to ramble on.
No, man, that's good stuff.
Hyped.
That's really good stuff.
Now, all right, this I've actually really enjoyed, this whole Sopranos-esque thing. Something different, a little more soap opera Sopranos between Stax and Tony D'Angelo.
Yep.
I think I saw whatever segment was on this last Tuesday. The last I saw was he took, what was it, Luca to the desert, and we don't even know what happened yet. And then
Yep.
Rizzo was in the safe house, and it was kind of a ploy to get Tony out there. I don't remember what happened on Tuesday here, but I'm really, really liking this. It's something different. It's fun. And I'm liking this Sopranos. Are you enjoying this, Kelvin? Do you think there's something there for Stax?
I'm loving it. And what I love about this is it's a different spin on something NXT is really good at. Two friends who are closer than brothers, and one betrayed the other. We've seen this story before, right? This is just a different twist on a betrayal, which NXT has told great stories about betrayals. Friends who are really close, and one guy betrayed the other. We've seen it. The most famous one is Johnny Gargano, and God, why am I drawing a blank?
Ciampa?
Yeah, Ciampa. Yeah. So that's the best example. But seeing it with these two and putting it in a story like this, I think it's more movie for me, which I don't actually mind. It's more movie. You're telling a great story with it. I think this match between these two guys is gonna be something to watch here. Very much. But I do think Tony's on his way to the main roster too, because his work on NXT has been really good.
So Stax has the dub.
Yeah.
Yeah. And is this where maybe we see like Luca and Rizzo kind of pop up and I don't know, get involved, but like be ringside, or maybe, I don't know. I didn't see what happened this week. I also remember there was like that fake like security, and then they jumped Tony, but there were all the guys like I don't mean to laugh.
Somebody's guys, like, missing. I kind of missed that too, but somebody's missing.
Someone's like all like the other like mob dudes were like standing behind Tony, like the older guys, and like as all the security are coming to beat it, like they just stood there, like so. It's if it's like the family and all that, that was a little confusing for me. But it's been fun. It's been fun. I'm excited.
It's been a fun story. Yes, it's been a very fun story.
All right, let's go to the chat real quick. Good stuff, guys. It's been a lot of fun. Tony passes the torch to Stax. Yeah, I could see it. Now is he the new leader of the family going forward? Is that what this is? And did we?
I think you could do that.
Yeah, I can see that. I think Luca turns on Tony too, and the girl. Yeah, is Luca still around? I don't know. Is he in a trunk somewhere? I don't know. All right, I see Tim again in the chat, man. Thank you for staying on, man. We appreciate it. If I'm right, you have to buy me a beer at TNA Slammiversary, and if I'm wrong, I buy you one. I am a man of my word, Tim. If Trick Williams wins the TNA championship, which is very probable or very possible on Sunday, I will buy you a brewski for a broski over at TNA Slammiversary.
I will send him money to buy you a beer.
Yes, you're doubling down. Kelvin, you're a real one. And you do not have to buy. You can buy me a root beer. How about that? I appreciate that, Tim. Thank you so much. Love it, Tim. And thank you for staying on. Tony will disappear and show up on the main roster again, possibly a draft. And then real quick, one more. Joe versus John at Slammiversary would be epic. Would that be the place? I'm not so sure. Maybe. I'll say maybe. Not out of the realm of possibility. Maybe. Good stuff, guys. You guys are bringing it in the chat. Again, share the stream. Let us know who you got as we're going to take it to. Oh, man. I am like losing sleep over this one. I've been stumped on this one because there's so many ways I can go. I have been waving the flag of both these women for so long. Stephanie Vicaire might be my favorite wrestler right now. I think she's just so good. She has it all. The interview segments with both of these ladies were fantastic. I think there's something so endearing about Stephanie Vicaire, and she could do it all in the ring, transitions, technical. She does spiral tap. So good. Nearly unstoppable. Kelvin, they put both belts on her immediately. immediately. And she basically said, hey, you know what? I'll give everyone else a chance. I'm paraphrasing here, obviously, but she's so good. I thought this was going to be the stand and deliver match, Jordan versus her. I very much could see Jordan. We know she's been through so much. We can make the TNA ambassador comparisons as well. Joe Henry even said in the interview, like, Jordan laid the groundwork for him. Yep. I could see this being, you know, I don't want to say like part of the deal, how they brought Jordan in, but like I could say, you know, you're going to be an NXT Women's Champion, which is no doubt in my mind. It's hard for me to pick against Stephanie Vaquer because
very much
she's been unstoppable. She beat 3 other ladies at Stand and Deliver, double champion so early on. She made the choice to go to NXT and not the main roster. She wanted to work on her English. She wanted to go through the developmental system and learn to work the TV WWE style. This has been tough for me, I think, because if we do have a draft, then maybe Stephanie does retain here and she gets drafted. And just like with the other belt, hey, we keep her strong. But Jordan is a formidable opponent. Or very does she just Stephanie lose and then disappear and then show up on Raw? Because they did the litmus test with her 2 or 3 times on Raw already. Like, I thought it was a foregone conclusion. She's going to the main roster probably by SummerSlam. Does she lose the title? Does she get drafted? Is Jordan winning here? I'm struggling with this, Calvin. What do you got?
I'll tell you flat out, Jordan's winning this match.
Really?
Jordan's winning this match. It is time. It is time. It's past due for Stephanie to go up. When they did that 3-match appearance on the main shows, like, you could tell she was ready. She was ready. And her coming back, having the matches she's had, I think this is a perfect opportunity for her to get that last match in. Jordan take the title, take the reins. Jordan's not going to be too far behind her because both women are great in their own right. So Steph loses this match, shows up on the main roster, and then in about 6 months, you're going to see Jordan Grace because she's going to have a phenomenal run, and then she's going to go to the main roster.
Man, I'm never that guy that gets. I'm on the verge of tears here, Calvin. I'm never that guy. I kid. I'm never that guy that gets so invested in sports and sports. I was like, I love my teams. I love my sports. I love my pro wrestlers. Man, I don't think I can pick against Stephanie Vaquer. I don't think I can. But
I know she's so good.
Right,
she's so good.
Let me ask you this real quick. Does she look weak if she loses? Because I think it's gonna be a clean finish.
No.
Does she doesn't look weak if she loses Jordan Grace?
No. Okay. Because Jordan Grace is phenomenal, man. Yeah. Like, her reputation has followed her from TNA to NXT. So she's built up a case for herself where if Stephanie loses this match, it's no harm, no foul. You know what I mean? Nice. It's all right. The better woman won this night. We'll see each other again someday. I'm pretty sure of that. But for now, I'm going to go up. I'm going to challenge these other girls. I'm going to get better, and I'll be waiting.
Yeah. Look, guys, let me know in the chat. Magic Mike Ferreira, welcome in. I'm going to do it, Calvin. Because it's Jordan, because again, another banger alert. I've been waiting for this match. She has to lose at some point. She didn't lose the other title. She has to lose at some point. Oh, it hurts. It hurts, Calvin. Jordan Grace beats Stephanie Vaquer to the main roster.
Yes.
I think that happens. Handshake. Give me a handshake at the end. Give me a handshake. I'll be happy. Show respect. Give me the handshake. That's important to me. I don't know.
Yes.
It takes the sting off a little. And nothing against Jordan Grace at all. She deserves all of it and more. She could be on the main roster now, as far as I'm concerned.
Yep.
Man, that was tough. That was tough for me. Oh man, I did not think I was picking Jordan Grace here, but on the record, Jordan Grace. Oh man, it hurts. It hurts.
I know.
When you because you root for your team, but we don't pick with our hearts, Calvin. We don't pick with our hearts.
Yep.
All right. That's like fantasy football draft. You don't pick with your heart. All right, and you don't draft no Jets. All right, so let's go. All right, I am super hyped for this one. We got the graphic here. Man, Miles Bourne taking on Oba Femi. Man, let me just say this. Good booking. I like this. When they had that battle royale and he was one of the last 3, I'll be the first to say I counted Miles Bourne out just because he's newer. you know, who do we have? Sean Spears and Evans, maybe, I think we're in the final 3, if I remember. When Miles Bourne won that Battle Royal, I was like, no way. This is really good. It was just like the Royal Rumble when Jay won. And I was like, why did none of us pick Jay? Like, smart booking. It was great. He's been so good. They had that banger match with the Hardys. I was there. Roadblock. I think, man, everything he says on the microphone, I love that he says, like, don't define me by my disability, but I am doing this for not just the people with disabilities. You know, I've taught a lot of people music with disabilities and stuff like that. People who cannot hear, and I've taught them drums. They have the cochlear implants. It's so cool to see that connection, man. And there's a community there. And he talks about not just the community, but the parents, man. I love that he brought that up because I deal with the parents as well. And they're amazing, amazing parents, man. And I love that he just goes in there. He does his thing, got a great look, hell of an athlete. He deserves, I don't usually like it when guys come in and get that, like, that big title shot. Like, you got to get the US championship, the IC title, then you get the world title. But I don't hate this, man. Expect the unexpected, like we've been saying. I think this is great booking. I love the showdown between him and Obafemi here. And Oba's the man. Oba's on top. Oba ain't losing this match, Kelvin. Oba ain't losing this match. What do you got on this one?
Man, I'm like you last match. This one is a hard match to call. And it's because Miles Bourne has made me a believer in him. Very much so. I went from calling him Randy Orton Light. To
which is not a diss.
It's not a diss.
It's really not a diss.
It's not a diss. But to see where he is right now, it blows me away, man. Like, it really does. I've really become impressed with his work, how he's presented himself, how he's made me care about him. He made me care about him when I had absolutely no reason to. But to see him in this match, I'm actually giving him I give him a lot of credit for this one. We could see an upset here. We definitely could see an upset here, which leads me to this. It's time for Obafemi to go to the main roster. It's time. I think Oba's done. I think he's done what he needed to do in NXT. He's been a dominant champion. He's had great matches. And look at what he's done with Miles Bourne, right? Miles Bourne he's elevated him by being in this match with him. We didn't really have a real care about Miles, but now that he's in this match, I actually care about him. Like, I want to see what he does, you know? And I think that speaks volumes because of who Obafemi is. So I'm going to go David Goliath here, but I'm going to pick David beating Goliath, and it's time for the ruler to go to the main roster. Ooh.
As much as I want to pick I can't just Oba's just too good. Because again, like, he deserves the title shot and he deserves to be here. He won the Battle Royal, but he's got a ways to go. And I get, you know this, Calvin. You know what I'm saying. I know you know this already, man. And that's what's made me struggle with these picks, is like this possible draft and you go to the main roster, so you're gonna lose. So you go to the main roster, you're gonna lose the main roster. I'm trying not to do that, but as you can see, it's getting in my head. I don't see Oba losing here. In fact, here's my Kelvin moment. Here's my curveball for you. I think there's kind of been like that low key Charlie Dempsey jealousy, monitoring kind of like conversation in the back, like, oh, like, where were you? Or, oh, what do you think about this? Or, and they're kind of shining a light on him, kind of low key. What if they do? And again, man, I hate doing that. What if his partner, what is it? Tavion Heights?
Yeah.
What if there's a level of let me know if I'm reaching, Calvin. What if there's a level, because you know I'm onto something.
Yeah, you're on.
What if there's a level of jealousy? You know, they fought the Hardys together. He's getting all this attention. He's getting the title shot. Hey, you forgot about us. You forgot about me. Like, it all became, the second you got the spotlight, it was all about, I don't know. Maybe it's cliche. Maybe I'm thinking into it, But the thing is, the spot, when they do that thing where the spotlight's shining so much on one person, and then you kind of have like that red herring, like maybe Charlie did. I think we're not looking at Tavion Heights, and I'm thinking, does he kind of ruin it for Miles Bourne? I don't know. Maybe I'm getting too out there.
No, you're not. You're actually on to something here.
Okay.
Yeah, the lights have been bright on him, and his partner could be, what about me?
Yeah.
What
and
about
again, you? Do you think this is the main? Do you think Joe Henry's the main? Probably Joe Henry Trick, because the way they ended.
Probably. NXT. I think Joe and Trick is probably going to be the main.
Is the main, yeah.
We
certainly talked
so.
about it a lot.
It's a big enough match where I think it could main event.
Yeah.
Hell, even Stephanie and
you're
Juggernaut
right.
can be.
You're right. That's probably
that could be the main.
A lot of times the girls are main eventing here, and NXT's just been focusing so much on the women's division and the women's wrestling. It's been fantastic. And Miles Bourne again deserves all the flowers and all the love, man. He's killing it. I love it when you get a guy to get like almost like how Kofi did. They kind of get that momentum when you don't see it coming.
Right.
And Kofi was there for a long time too.
Right.
We were loving Kofi since the ECW revival days. But yeah, man, Kelvin, good stuff. I think we hit on everything. Before we get out of here, I'm going to go watch some TNA, man. Tell us about No Gimmicks, some other stuff you got going on, my man.
Oh man, No Gimmicks, DFPN. Everybody's on. We're on a run right now, man. So, thedfpn.com. We have so many great shows out. We just brought out a new horror podcast called Nightmares and Nerdscapes. Really great podcast. And another new podcast called Cutting Edge Hero, which delves in the world of nerdom, all things nerdom. They call it nerd news. So anything, games, comics, movies, whatever you're into, they cover it. It's really about what did you nerd about this week. So please make sure you go over to the DFPN and watch those guys. And UFL coverage here on the BCP Plus. My Arlington Renegades are out of the playoffs, but we still got two other guys with teams that are absolutely killing it. Shout out to Mike Mueller and Tyler. Make sure you go support those guys over at BCP Plus and check out all the interviews that we're doing. And I'm going to be making my Pop Break debut very soon. So I'm really excited about that.
Little teaser. I love it. You know what, Kelvin? I had an idea. But maybe I'll pitch this to the guys. What if we did? It doesn't have to be a podcast. Maybe we'll do a list. Who do we? Maybe like 10 opponents of John Cena. Like who do we think the next 10 opponents of the year is fine? I sound like that's a good. I probably shouldn't have said that on the podcast. Someone else is gonna do it now. I probably should have said that privately, not here. But it just hit me, so we'll see.
I like that.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Calvin. Crushed it always, man. I'm so glad. I'm like, I wonder if Kelvin's available today. So I appreciate you making the time. Take the rest of the day off, man. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. I'm going to rudely run the sponsorship, but I'll send you lovely messages in the chat, man. So good talking to you, man. And,
thank you, guys.
Thank you, man. We appreciate you so much, bro. And guys, like we always say here on the BCP, everyone stay safe, stay positive. Take care of each other. We out. Peace. BCP is brought to you by our favorite store, Funkenstein Wrestling Superstore, located in the Englishtown Flea Market in New Jersey from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays, and online at FunkensteinWrestlingSuperstore.com. Get your favorite wrestling merch, retro video games, Ninja Turtles, Ghostbusters, G.I. Joe, so much more. It's our favorite store. Thank you, Heather and Dan, for sponsoring the BCP. Also got to welcome back our sponsors, the No Gimmicks Podcast, the podcast that keeps it 100% real 100% of the time. Check out our guy Kelvin, only on the No Gimmicks Podcast. Wrestling All Day, All Night is the best wrestling discussion group on Facebook. We provide more of a community feel here, and have wrestling fans introduce other fans to something they may not have seen before, such as old school wrestling, indie wrestling, Japanese wrestling, and so much more. We also strive to be a source of information regarding upcoming wrestler meet and greets and signings. And remember, we're open 24/7, all day, all night. Be sure to follow on socials and join the group on Facebook at Wrestling All Day, All Night. welcome back our sponsor, Sweet Chin Musings. Sweet Chin Musings is the creation of the reigning, rarely defending, highly disputed champion of wrestling podcast, Mr. Perfect, Mike Mueller, and his tag team partner in crime, Luke Kudialis. SCM focuses on the in-ring product of WWE and AEW, no dirt sheet rumors here, as well as backstage news, predictions, and analysis of characters, storylines, and major pay-per-views. Old school fans, don't worry, we have you covered as well, with a look back on classic matches, top 10 lists, and interactive tournaments that let the fans decide who is truly the best of all time. You can find them at Facebook at Sweet Chin Musings, and check out the podcast on all major podcast platforms. Please welcome back our sponsors on the BCP Plus and the podcast, GPW Productions. GPW provides your promotion or event with top-tier video, audio production, live streaming, and more. I can personally vouch for them in saying they are hands down the best production company I've ever worked with, as they have and continue to work with the likes of AEW, GCW, StarCast, MLW, not to mention the majority of the local independent promotions here in the tri-state area. They can even help you film a vignette or promo for your persona or gimmick. And guess what? GPW doesn't just work in wrestling. No, they cover MMA, boxing, basketball, or any other sporting event as well. On a personal note, I'd like to thank Mike Sesko, Frank León, Oneil Andrews, and the team for giving me multiple opportunities to work with them and some of the best talent in the world. Thank you, GPW, and guys, book GPW for your promotion or event today at contact@gpwproductions.com. Please welcome back one of our favorite sponsors, Mania Club. Established in 2015, Mania Club is a WWE-recognized community for fans with an eclectic love for both the world of professional wrestling and raising money for Connor's Cure. During WrestleMania weekend, we host the official tailgate of WrestleMania while also celebrating the life of Conor McCallum. They are the single largest donor within the V Foundation for Connor's Cure, with over 150,000 raised. Please donate and join the Facebook group over at Mania Club on Facebook. Donate at jimmyv.org/Mania Club. Guys, please welcome in our new pod sponsor for the months of May and June, J. Adam Photography. Jay provides quality, artistic, innovative photography with a quick turnaround time. Be sure to check out his latest ISPW Wrestling Picks and much more stellar content. Right now, wrestlers can do a special portrait shoot with Jay in Sparta, New Jersey for just $50. Contact Jay at Jay Vogel on Facebook and be sure to follow him across socials. Thank you, Jay, for sponsoring the BCP. Guys, let's welcome in our new pod sponsor, Cooper Groove Grips. When you play Cooper Groove drumsticks, you get increased sensory feedback from your hands, so your grip will naturally loosen, but you have complete control. With that taking place, you don't have fatigue and soreness, which can lead to long-term issues. Guys, as a drummer, Cooper Groove is my drumstick of choice. Sweaty hands aren't a problem. Grip is good. Don't forget to check out their amazing Cooper Groove bats coming out soon. Guys, follow at Cooper Groove Grips on Facebook. Guys, please welcome in our new podcast sponsors, ISPW Weekly, where we dive deep into the world of ISPW, the crossroads of professional wrestling. Join Jumpin' Jay and Total with Tom every week as they interview the stars of the ring, uncover their stories, rivalries, and the electrifying action that defines ISPW. Be sure to check out ISPW Weekly on the ISPW Facebook page every week. Please welcome in our new pod and daily site sponsor, Twisted Shamrock Studios and Spa, located in Delaware County, Pennsylvania. Twisted Shamrock is a retro spa experience for the average Joe and Jane. Meet the next evolution of recovery and relaxation. Right now, you can try their introductory offer, where you can try a core service to include massage, skincare, facial, stretch therapy, body slimming, toning, personal training, and spray tanning for 30 minutes for just $30. This is perfect for our wrestling pals as well. Book today. Call 484-574-8868 or visit www.twistedshamrockstudiospa.com. Guys, please welcome back our returning podcast sponsor, USDN. USDN Podcast is run by USDN Chairman and the Council of Nerds. We bring you all the latest news and rumors from the world of nerds and consolidate it right here at the U.S. Department of Nerds. USDN is for the people, by the people, and of the people. Follow them at facebook.com/US Department of Nerds. Guys, please welcome in our new pod sponsor for 2025, the Ropes and Riffs podcast, featuring Maestro John Kiernan, speaking with the stars of professional wrestling about their in-ring, tunage, gear, and so much more. Check out John's interviews with the likes of Lince Dorado, Mercedes Martinez, and so much more. Find the Ropes and Risks podcast on all major podcast platforms. Guys, please welcome in our new podcast sponsor, EM Collectibles, featuring live signings, collectibles, toys, and more. Be sure to follow them on Facebook and stay tuned for their upcoming events. Upcoming events right now, March 8th, Hernando Toy and Comic Show at the Hernando County Fairgrounds live signing with Super Crazy. March 22nd, Neg Dog Championship Wrestling presents Music and Mayhem in Hudson, Florida with special guest Super Crazy. March 29th and 30th, 2025 Syracuse Collectors Con in Syracuse, New York with Bill Alfonso, Gary Wolf, and the quintessential stud muffin Joel Gertner, March 30th only. April 5th, New England Fan Fest, and we'll have Buff Bagwell. April 13th, 2025, our premiere show, Bring Back the Memories Toy Show, and May 10th, our renowned 90s Wrestling Con in Morristown, New Jersey, guest to be named soon. BCP is sponsored by Warriors of Wrestling. Saturday, May 10th at Most Precious Blood Church in Brooklyn, New York, featuring former TNA superstar James Storm. Also featuring The Allfather, Darius Carter, Danny Moff, Chris Steeler, TJ Marconi, Warriors champ Roger Mendez, Danny Storm, Mike Titello, and a whole lot more. Get your tickets now at warriorsofwrestling.com. BCW and Shadow Wrestling Alliance present Anniversary 8, a Jurassic celebration honoring the life of Vince Steele. Live Sunday, May 25th, the Mecca in Ridgefield Park, New Jersey. Doors at 5, bell 6 time. Get your tickets now.